The difference between being relatively wealthy and just rich comes down to mentality, which is a real concept that you can put into practice. We are accustomed to assuming that strategy and tactics are key to success. Shortcuts or quick ways are what we seek today. We want a detailed, step-by-step guide that we can study and follow closely. But if you are not in the proper frame of mind to live a wealthy life, no amount of clever plans and techniques will be able to satisfy your desires. Success ultimately depends on you and how you view, utilize, and make the most of what you have right now. Patrick Donahoe explains why so many of our assumptions about success and money are incorrect and how we may prepare ourselves to make the most of what we currently have. My name is Marcus, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you are interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if this video is helpful. The wealth mindset. The difference between being wealthy and being rich. The main difference between the rich and the wealthy is that the wealthy don't worry about money. To put it simply, a wealthy person has financial freedom and doesn't worry about making money even when they are not working. A rich person will typically have a lot of money, but the money is only suitable for a finite amount of time, and that person typically has to work for it, while a wealthy man makes money continuously while sleeping. Now let's see how this is explained in detail by looking further at the rich for a better understanding. A rich person is someone who makes a large range of wages that allow them to live comfortably through their monthly paychecks. Their lavish homes, luxury cars, designer clothes, and Instagram posts from exotic locales demonstrate that they spend freely and are proud of their extravagant lifestyle to others. Their money is less sustainable and finite because of their flashy lifestyle. On the other hand, a wealthy person makes money from investments and owns assets such as stocks, real estate, or businesses. They do not need to constantly work because their income is passive and comes from somewhere else. A millionaire, for example, only needs an annual salary of $380,000, which can come easily with investments in a well-performing stock market or by simply living off savings instead of working for wages every month. This illustrates that wealth comes from something tangible rather than spending more than you have on frivolous things. In the world of finance, wealth is usually measured by assets such as stocks, real estate, and businesses. Whereas for a rich person who just has a lot of money, it may only be their flashy lifestyle that separates them from others. Another key difference between rich and wealthy people is that the wealthy have a more sustainable income because they do not rely on their money to support them. This means that if something terrible happens, such as the stock market crash, their money will still be there. Whereas for a poor person who relies on wages, if their income stops, then they may need to turn to government assistance or survive by becoming homeless or living in poverty. This illustrates that wealth is something that can be lost very easily if it is not managed well. Unlike a rich person who may have to work hard for years to build up their savings, a wealthy person can more easily get their money from investments or inherited assets and avoid having to work at all. This means they often have less of an understanding of financial matters and are more likely to make mistakes with their money, which could lead to losing everything they have worked for. Different ways of living also contribute to the wealth gap between rich and wealthy people. When a person is born into poverty, they may never learn how to save or invest their money wisely, which means that even if they did manage to build up some wealth over time, it would be much less than someone who grew up in a wealthier family. This can create a huge divide between those who have inherited their wealth and those who have worked hard for it. The latter group often feels like they are not equal to those with more riches and do not understand what it takes to maintain such an income stream. There are also several psychological factors that play into wealth disparities. Studies have found that those who feel they do not have control over their own lives or fortune are more likely to struggle financially. This can be caused by feeling like there is no hope for change or by the fear of losing all that has been built up in the past. Ultimately, wealth can be earned or inherited. While many factors contribute to the gap between rich and wealthy people, understanding how to manage your finances is key in ensuring you stay afloat no matter what. What does it take to be wealthy? If you have $20,000 in savings and $5,000 in total for your monthly expenses, your wealth will survive for around 4 months or 120 days. You are endlessly wealthy, though, if your monthly expenses are $5,000 and you have investments that give you $5,000 per month. You become affluent, not just rich, when the revenue generated by your assets exceeds your outgoings. As a result of that, we propose that wealth is evaluated in terms of time rather than money, as everyone's financial freedom number is going to be different, as the cost of living varies from person to person. Ultimate wealth is not about how much money you have in the bank, but rather how much money you keep and how long that money works for you. People frequently match their lifestyle to their income. So with each increase in revenue, they justifiably reward themselves with a more excellent car, a larger home, or a vacation. Investing in pricey items as a prize for your hard work eventually backfires, as the gratification given up front is not matched by long-term satisfaction when funded with low returns. In contrast, many frugal people invest in a thrifty manner, buying only what they need and saving everything else. They may have no assets at all but are financially secure because they can live off their wages plus modest investments. Or they might own some assets such as a car or home but owe money on them and would be considered impoverished or forced to sell them due to financial hardship. Frequent flyer miles are king for this type of person. The more miles they accumulate, the more miles they can use for free flights. Miles don't expire like cash. And unlike credit card points that can be redeemed for travel or products, there is no limit to how many miles a frequent flyer can earn. Building wealth in this way also has some unique benefits. Employees who focus on building their own wealth through shrewd investments are less likely to leave their jobs because of financial instability. Customers will continue coming back to businesses with low interest rates because the owners haven't borrowed money against their future earnings, and landlords won't raise the rent as often when the property owner can afford to pay it off. Being rich is having money. Being wealthy is having time. Money can be turned into anything. Money doesn't discriminate. It will take care of you, no matter what. By Michael Jordan. What is the key to having a wealth mindset? The key to having a wealth mindset is learning how to manage your finances and invest wisely. People with a wealth mindset view their money as something that can be used to improve their life, not just keep them afloat. They are more likely to make smart financial decisions and stay ahead of the curve when it comes to keeping up with the latest financial trends. What are some common mistakes made by people with a wealth mindset? People with a wealth mindset often make mistakes because they do not understand how money works or panic when things go wrong. For example, what things should you never do when it comes to money? Some things you should never do when it comes to money are borrowing too much, investing in high-risk investments, and spending your money without thinking about the long-term consequences. These decisions can potentially result in significant financial problems down the road. How important is luck in accumulating wealth? While it is helpful to have some luck when it comes to making money, the vast majority of people who become wealthy do so through hard work and intelligent financial planning. What is the key to having a lasting wealth mindset? The key to having a lasting wealth mindset is learning how to keep your money growing over time. People with a wealth mindset are more likely than others to save and invest their money wisely. This doesn't only create financial stability, but can also help them achieve their long-term goals. There are ways to be more efficient with what you already have. That's where all strategy should start. When it comes to money, it's all about making the most of what you have. There are several ways that people with a wealth mindset tend to be more efficient and effective with their finances. For example, they know how to save and invest their money effectively. They know how to create income streams from their assets. They understand the importance of compound growth over time. We define wealth as the number of days you can go without physically working while still being able to maintain your quality of life. This further simplifies the concept of wealth. It's pretty easy. It's not about how many expensive items you can buy. Instead, it's about how long you can get by without work.